Hey, what's up, guys? Jag from Jaggy Sports again. So the deal here is I'll give you a Ben Simmons update. Before I do, of course, subscribe, like, and notification. So Ben Simmons update. He is now week to week. I told you guys he's not playing in the March 10th game, 100%. He is not playing in the March 10th game. He does not want to play in Philly, like Danny Green said. Yeah, that's 100% true. Like, his mental health state, he cannot handle Philly. Philly just going to annihilate him if he plays there. And some people are saying that he's out for a month. It's kind of like, we'll see if he is out for a month, but that's what the rumor is going around. And at the end of the day, you got to think to yourself, if he's out for a month, that means that that's pretty much the playoffs, till the playoffs. Will they make the playoffs? Yeah, 100% they'll make the playoffs, but they need to gel as a team. I think they will, but check these clips out. And just a fun fact, he is now trying to become a better shooter. He's trying to become a better shooter because he's getting advice from Kyle Korver on how to shoot. So, that could very well be considered another strategy move by the Nets. Everybody's thinking he's going to pass it. Everybody thinks he's going to, give up the shot. But he's working with one of the elite shooters NBA has seen in Kyle Korver. And, if he's getting advice on how to shoot and his confidence is just growing because of his mental health state, you can't tell with this guy what he's going to be like. But I'll tell you one thing, that check these clips out and, tell me what you guys think, because I am not shutting the door on how good Ben Simmons can be, especially if he's getting shooting abilities from Kyle Korver. But this whole week-to-week back thing and month away, I don't agree with that. The guy's been out forever, and he had no apparent injuries. So it is what it is. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to get his mental health back. But check these clips out.
So I was with the Nets on Saturday night in Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. They had a really good win. Yeah. They shut down Giannis down the stretch. It was really surprising to see Giannis not be able to impact that game. And Greeny, after the game, we're not allowed in the locker rooms these days, but I was standing outside the locker room, and there was a lot of celebration with the Nets. The music was turned up loud. They were yelling. They were having a great night because, number one, they thought it was a great win. They'd lost 13 out of 15, so to win in Milwaukee was huge for them. Two, they were under the belief that an announcement was going to come from New York City early this week that was going to clear the way for Kyrie Irving to play in home games. There was momentum in that direction. Kyrie was very excited. Kyrie went so far as to say after that game, he thanked Adam Silver for taking one for the team. He put Adam Silver on his team for what Adam said about the mandates in New York City. I'm not sure that's what Adam wants, but that's where Kyrie's mind was at. So after that momentum, now the announcement comes, and it doesn't look like Kyrie is going to get that clearance. And I am told that, this has been reported elsewhere as well, but I am told that Ben Simmons should now be considered week to week, which means not this week and likely not next week. So we're now going to be into mid-March, probably at the earliest, because his back is now acting up on him, says the Nets. It just stops and starts with them. So Durant should be back this week. History would tell me, Greeny, that it would be ridiculous to bring in major pieces of a team in March and all of a sudden that all fall into place, especially if they're having to play from the back of the field, like 7 or 8 or 6 seed. So I feel a little bit awkward about where they're at, but they have Durant, they have Irving. If eventually he's allowed to play in home games, which that door is still open, they still can do some major damage. I just am not optimistic about it at this point.
Yeah, and the Simmons of it all, like what exactly do we expect him to be? Because when we go back, and you can't always distill a player's career down to one moment or one series. But with Simmons, it clearly is so much about that. His complete lack of willingness to be an offensive option in that series they lost to Atlanta last year suggests that in games in which they don't, if there are games in which they don't have Kyrie, like half of them, they didn't trade for their second option. You know what I mean? Like James Harden was that. Ben Simmons is not going to be anywhere close to that. So I'm trying to figure out how that looks. I guess this is a long-winded way of my saying I feel like ultimately the decision on Kyrie is going to determine everything. If Kyrie is able to play all their games, I like the Nets to win the East. And if he isn't, then I don't. Does that make sense?
I think if you have a team with Kevin Durant on it, anything is possible.
Yeah.
If you told me that the Nets were in the finals, I wouldn't try to talk you out of it. I just think there's so many preposterous variables with this team. It's hard to see how it all aligns. I mean, I see it all on the board, and I can shove it into a shape that makes sense. It's just hard for me to see how it all aligns, especially as I look down there at Miami and see how well they're playing, and that they've got a stretch coming up here where they play 10 out of 11 at home, and I think they're a shoo-in to get the number 1 seed. And I see how Philly is playing, and I know that Giannis is almost unstoppable when he's at the top of his game, and I think they got to somehow figure out a way to beat all 3 of those teams possibly without home court advantage, without knowing what Simmons is going to be. You're right, Greeny, but I can't sit here and say that I'm optimistic.
So there you have it. Ben Simmons update. He's getting tips from Kyle Korver. He's week to week, according to Brian Windhorst. I believe he's out for the till the playoffs. I don't know. I really don't know. He's working on his game. He's working on his shots. He's working with the Nets on how to fit and gel with the team. So I wish I had a option for you guys to tell you like what's the deal, but the only update I have is he is out and most likely till the playoffs, and he's getting tips from Kyle Korver. So I want to pose a question to you guys. Is Ben Simmons going to be a better shooter? Like, he's putting in the time, he's putting in the work. Is Ben Simmons going to be a really good fit for the Brooklyn Nets? You tell me. Jag from Jaggy Sports. Leave a comment in the comment section. Subscribe, like, and video. And notifications on this video. Sorry. Jag from Jaggy Sports.